Four-time Grand Slam champion Kim Clijsters within our studio, and we very warm welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
I think it's your first time in St. Petersburg, so bring us all your emotions with the city, with our tournament.
Well, it is my first time, it's only my second time in Russia. So I arrived here on Friday evening, and everything was dark, so pretty late. But we had a nice time. We had a great pro-am in the morning, and then in the afternoon we had some time to go to visit the Hermitage Museum, but only a few hours, so we didn't get the chance to see a lot of it. But it's a beautiful city, and I already told my husband that I want to come back and I want to take a tour and get to know everything about the city. So.
Do you like Russian winter with this kind of snow?
I love it. We used to have snow in Belgium, and now I don't know why, but maybe with the climate change or whatever, but we don't really have a lot of snow anymore. So it was nice yesterday to walk around in the snow, but I didn't bring my snow boots, so it was a little cold.
So Kim, you are a tennis mom of the whole tour of your children, and today Vera Zvonareva won her doubles title. She's also ma'am. What about her? What about Serena Williams? What about Victoria Azarenka? How tough is it to come back to the tour after giving birth for children?
Physically it's tough, because you really go from zero. You know, with the pregnancy it changes your body, and your muscles have to really just get back to what they used to be. But mentally, I think it really helps a lot. You know, Vera was also a great champion already before, you know, she became a mother, and I think you know what it's like, you know, on court, you know what you have to do in big moments, and because that's something that will always stay with you, no matter if you've had one baby, 3 babies, it doesn't matter. So I think it's the mental part of things is something that is definitely a bonus when you come back after having a baby.
You retired a few years ago. What is your life right now? Of course, I think tennis is a part of this life, yeah?
It is, it is. I have a tennis academy in Belgium. I have 3 kids also. My husband is a basketball coach, so most of the weekends we have to go visit, support his basketball team. But my daughter plays basketball. She's almost 10. My middle son is 4, and I have a 1-year-old. And yeah, busy. I'm flying home tonight, so I have to be in school tomorrow to bring the kids to school. So it's nice for me to go, you know, to the tennis tournaments and to see new tournaments. You know, for me, when I was playing, St. Petersburg wasn't a tournament, and so it's nice to see, you know, people with so much passion for our sport and to be in these places, and it's nice to go back and see so many familiar faces and go back. So there's some things that I miss about being on tour, but then there's a lot of things that I don't miss, so it's nice to have the balance now.
You won today. What about your partners, Martina Hingis
and Eva?
Yeah, and what about your conquerors, yeah, like Elena and Anastasia? What about there?
Well, Elena and Anastasia, I played juniors with them, so I've known them for a very, very long time, and I played juniors against them and practiced a lot of times with both of them. So it was nice to see them again and to have some chats, you know, behind the tennis courts and talk about life. And you know, my team, you know, Martina Hingis and Eva Maioli. I mean, I was able to play doubles with Martina Hingis, which never happened when I was on tour. So it was a nice feeling to have. You know, when I was younger, I watched her play and I watched her win, you know, her Grand Slams, and so she was definitely a player that I really enjoyed watching. And so it's nice to be in a situation where you get to play with them and at the same time have fun and go out to dinner and enjoy some fun times together. So it's a nice concept.
I would like to ask you maybe one question about women's tennis these days. How much it changed in terms of your time of playing?
I mean, you know, I think there's some names that are obviously not there anymore, but there's still, what I love to see is, you know, wherever we go next, if Serena's going to be playing, Maria's going to be playing, you have some youngsters that are coming up. Ostapenko last year winning, you know, the French Open, and it's nice to see that, you know, it's not so predictable. You know, I think you always have people who are criticizing. You have people who, you know, when Serena was dominating and people were complaining, oh, you know, we don't, you know, Serena's winning again and again, and then they don't like that. But then when you don't have a dominant, you know, player, then they're saying, oh yeah, but it's, you know, maybe we need a dominant player. So it's always like that. But I love the fact, you know, when I go to tournaments that I'm curious to see, oh, this is a draw and this player can beat this player, and we'll see who's better, you know, during the whole tournament, and that will be the person who will hold the trophy at the end of the week.
Do you make some commentaries on the TV?
A little bit. I started doing it last year. I did a little bit with for BBC, and I worked with John McEnroe at Wimbledon, so that was a fun experience. And and I learned a lot. So hopefully, yeah, I get to do that again this year.
And maybe the last question, what inspired you these days in the whole life?
Obviously, my family is the main priority, but then I also still like to be involved in tennis, and I do that with my tennis academy. So I still go around to the tennis every day, and I see the 4-year-olds to, you know, Elisa Mertens, who's now, you know, she made the semi-final of the Australian Open. So it's nice to have that combination of, you know, the little kids who have the dream to, you know, play tournaments and to grow up and be tennis players, to the players who are actually on tour. And it's nice to see that combination. So
thank you, Kim, for your coming, and we really like you to coming and return to our comeback for our tournament.
Love to. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kim Clijsters, 4-time Grand Slam champion, was in our studio.